What is your job costing you? Sure, you make a salary or an hourly wage at your job, you receive a paycheck, and that's what you earn. That's why you're there. But your job has hidden costs associated with it too. Hidden, but very real. And in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what those costs are. Because if you're working toward financial freedom and saving diligently like I am, you're excited about life after your career. Maybe you're getting close to financial independence and early retirement, but you're afraid to take that leap and leave that job behind. Financial independence doesn't mean much if you never take advantage of it to build the life that you love. You might keep clinging to that job for one more year, and maybe one more year after that, and maybe just one more year to be sure. This is called one more year syndrome, and I've been battling one more year syndrome myself. And one thing that's helping me push back against one more year syndrome is this idea that jobs don't just earn us money, they also have costs. The first cost of a job is opportunity cost. That is, what else could you be doing with your time instead of working your job? The problem is, you don't exactly know what opportunities you're missing out on because, well, you're stuck working your job. Even if you take a long vacation, that's vacation time. It's different. It's limited time, and often there's this desire to take a trip during that time or make a memory to make the most out of that limited free time. There's not much time to experiment, not much time for creativity, to try things out, or to do something entrepreneurial. But without a job, there is this time. There is extended time without specific expectations, so there is suddenly room for opportunities to develop or appear. You're able to try things out and find your purpose. And if you're financially independent or anywhere close to it, you have the time and the ability to say yes to so many other things. I think that opportunities will come in early retirement, even if you can't anticipate what those will be right now. If you continue to participate in life, if you don't become a completely reclusive hermit, opportunities will find you, whether it's volunteer opportunities or interesting things to work on. If you have interests and ideas, and if you're willing to put yourself out there, opportunities will find you. Early retirement is not actually the time to cease all activities, it's actually the perfect time to experiment and try new and different things. If one of these experiments goes really well, you might even start earning income. You might become self-employed. But wait, that's not early retirement anymore, is it? Does it even matter? Warren Buffett will never stop working, even though he's definitely financially independent. He likes the work he does, and it's not a job for him, it's his purpose in life, and it seems like he finds it very fulfilling. And that should be our path too, to find and do work that fulfills us and gives us purpose in life. But for most of us, that doesn't look like a job where we're working towards someone else's goals. Instead, it looks like working on our own projects, our own thing, giving ourselves a job. I think it's only natural for humans to want to work, to get things done, to improve the world around them. Work is important to our sense of well-being, but that work doesn't have to be a job, and the work doesn't even have to make money to be a satisfying use of our time. And if you want to contribute to society, to the world, isn't it much better to self-direct your time and enthusiastically work on projects that fulfill you and that you're passionate about, instead of reluctantly slogging it out in a job that you're sleepwalking through day in and day out? Your job might feel productive, but honestly, if you left the job, they would find someone else to fill in that slot. They would carry on. But the world needs you and everything you can uniquely offer as a fully self-actualized person, not just another W-2 employee, another drone taxpayer. And speaking of taxes, as a W-2 employee, you have little control over how much you are taxed or when you are taxed. But as a financially independent person, you can control your income taxes much more. Your long-term capital gains, for example, are taxed at a lower rate than other income, and you can pull from tax-advantaged accounts or regular taxable accounts strategically to minimize the taxes that you pay. And if you start your own small business, even better. Small business owners can often deduct a wide range of business expenses from their taxable income, these deductions can significantly reduce your taxable income. Not only that, but small business owners have more flexibility in timing expenses and income, which can help them manage their tax liability from year to year. They may be able to defer income or accelerate deductions to optimize their tax situation. There's just a lot of options, and you have a lot less tax flexibility as an employee earning traditional W-2 income. Another hidden cost of your job is the impact on your mental and physical health. If you have a full-time job, you probably don't have the time to focus as much on your health as you should. It takes time to be active, to lift weights, to go to the gym, even if it's your home gym, or even to go for long walks or bike rides. It's hard to fit these activities around the rigid schedule of most full-time jobs. And when it comes to eating right, that takes time too. It takes time to shop and prepare meals with healthy, whole food. It's much easier to reach for comfort and convenience food at the end of a busy day at the job. And then there's the daily stress of the job itself. Or maybe you have a long commute, which is all this time just sitting stationary, being stressed by the process of driving. For most of us, our jobs are a net negative to our health, consisting of an unnatural amount of sedentary time and elevated stress. And what about relationships? Are you able to be there for your family when they need you? Are you able to attend all of your kids' activities? Or are you missing out as you are forced to give more of your time and attention to your job than to your family? What about your social network? Do you have one outside of work? Jobs leave us little room to even consider questions like these, let alone maintain existing friendships or build new social connections. And when you do have time to spend with family or friends, are you in a good mood, or are you taking out the stresses of the job on the people that you love the most? For some of us, our job is our social life. And if that's you, maybe it's time to start building a social life outside of your job. Because if you step away from that job, or that job steps away from you, those relationships from work are very likely to fade away as well. So, should you work one more year? Maybe. I'm not advocating for anyone to step away from their job before they're ready. But if you've been saving for financial independence for many years, you may be closer than you think. Maybe now is the time to jump into a new phase of life. Of course, it's important to consider how much you need to replace your income. You have to do that calculation to know that you're in the ballpark. But does your financial independence number consider the costs of your job? For those of us working toward financial independence and early retirement, it's easy to get hung up on the math, increase that financial independence number, and keep pushing out that date, trying to stack up more and more certainty. You're waiting to achieve complete financial certainty that will never arrive. Nothing is guaranteed, not your job, not your level of spending, not stock market returns, and certainly not your health or the length of your life. So of course the goalposts keep moving, and one more year syndrome is very real. But I've come to the realization that at this point in my journey, my salary is providing diminishing returns. I'll never get the certainty that I desire, and one more year is not going to make or break my plan. It's not. In the meantime, every year that goes by, my job is costing me in missed opportunities, excess taxes, health and relationships. It's clearly time to leave the job and embrace a life of autonomy instead. And if it turns out that I haven't saved enough and I'm not able to produce enough income, I'll adjust. I always like to remind myself and you that the worst case scenario, if a FI plan fails, is to get a job. The same position you're in right now. That's the worst case scenario. So what about you? If your financial independence plan fails, will it be because you left your current job just 1 year too soon? Not a chance. If your plan fails, it will be because of terrible market returns or because your spending got out of control, not because you didn't work that one more year. And if you find out that the grass is not actually greener on the other side and that a job is actually the best use of your time, well, you can always trade your freedom and autonomy back in. But I don't think you will, because once you see how much your job was costing you, well, You can't unsee it.